Larry, you're a great example of the American dream. You started in a small Miami radio station and you ended up having your own show on CNN for 25 years. Did you always dream big, and what advice would you give to people who have audacious goals?
Well, I've always dreamed big. My only goal was to be on radio. When I was 5, my earliest memory is the radio. The radio on top of the dresser in our little bedroom. We were very, very poor. Shawn's been in the apartment I grew up in. And I used to sit in that bedroom and dream of being on the radio. I'd listen to the radio shows, and then I would get off, the radio would finish, and I'd go into the bathroom and imitate what I just heard on the radio. I would hear shows like The Shadow Knows, and then I would go and imitate that. Inner Sanctum, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. I don't know if she knows this. When I was like 14 years old, I lived in Brooklyn. I would go into the city, take the subway, and go into buildings where radio stations were and pretend that I worked there. I would ride the elevator up and come down in the elevator and pretend I was an announcer. I would say to the elevator operator, "Good morning." You know, like I'd go around to any radio shows that had audiences. I'd go around to audiences. I was a guest once on Quick as a Flash. I won $15 on a quiz show. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was just a radio freak. So when that was my goal, to get in the radio, and then everything else happened. I just knew I loved it. And then television, then print, and I've written 16 books and been in movies, and all this has been a dream. I never thought any of this would. If my father died when I was 9.5, I couldn't imagine what he would think. My mother saw a modicum of success in Miami. She saw me get well known in Miami and have radio and television. But I don't know what my father would think if he saw this wife, those kids, this house, and this room, and what I've attained.
Proud of you.
Yeah, but I sometimes pinch myself, and I often look at myself and wonder, who the hell did that? In other words, I look at it like it wasn't me. We were looking at a tape last night of when I was on radio, I was describing being on radio and interviewing people. And I kept looking at it like, who was that? It's still surprising. And I think I've never lost my excitement for what I do. I love interviewing people. I love entertaining people. I love making people laugh. I love writing. I love broadcasting. I love the whole ball of wax. And even at my age, I can't explain the enthusiasm. I'm amazed at people who don't get up and do things. It's amazing to me. You know, the Woody Allen's theme is so correct. 90% of success is showing up. And I've always showed up. Nat King Cole said once, there are two kinds of people in the world. 98% sit on the porch and watch the fox hunt. People go out and chase the fox, and only one person is going to catch the fox. So the odds are always against you. So 98% of the people sit back and watch the fox hunt. It's easier. 2% chase the fox. I chase the fox. And I never forget.
You've chased a few foxes in your life.
And then I caught one here. Look at this fox that I caught. And no, I one of the highlights, I've had a lot of highlights in my life, was when I won 2 Peabody Awards, and that's the broadcasting equivalent of the Pulitzer. And I won one for a lifetime of radio shows, which is a real honor because it wasn't just for one particular show. And then later I won one from CNN. I'm very proud of I'm proud of what I've done. But I'm most proud of the family I have. I'm proud. I got a lot of things to be happy about. I survived the heart thing. My father died of a heart attack, and he was 46. I never thought I'd be 46. I really thought I would die at 46. I used to think that.
Well, we're glad you didn't.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Most days.
Stress reducer number 7.
How many people do you think you've interviewed over the course of your career?
They estimate 55,000.
Wow.
Well, that's based on 56 years doing radio, doing television, someday doing panels. I interviewed 3 people today. In fact, sometimes I forgot that I've interviewed people.
Which has been the most memorable?
Impossible. I can't pick out one. I'll be Nelson Mandela maybe, but it doesn't. To Martin Luther King, 7 presidents. There's too many.
Do you have a favorite, Shawn?
That he's interviewed? One, because of my faith, Gordon B. Hinckley. That was big for me.
He was the prophet and president of the Mormon Church, and I had him on 3 times.
And who's someone who's doing amazing things today, changing the world that you'd really love to speak to?
I always wanted to interview Castro. I never got the chance. I went down to Havana. We tried to arrange that. I like to interview Nobel Prize winners. I like to interview doctors. I like to interview people of faith. I search for faith, and I'm impressed by people who have faith. One of the heroes in my life is P.K. Shaw, who's the head of the Department of Cardiology at Cedars-Sinai, and he is working on splicing a gene for heart disease.
And how do you guys keep up with the news? What do you read on a daily basis?
I'm a junkie, so I read 5 newspapers every day. Mm-hmm. I watch the news channels, and she's always on her internet, and she's...
Well, Flipboard is my new addiction, so...
Great.
I'll tell you what's happened in the world. Newspapers are fading, and that's sad, because I'm a newspaper guy. I love news. I love newsprint. If something happened in the world right now, the whole world would know it in a minute.
It does know it in a minute.
In a minute.
I mean,
There's no newspaper headline that surprises you. There's no extra edition anymore. Social media can change things, cause uprising. It can change the world, but also cannot change the world. Just like one of the great arguments we have today, I don't know, I haven't discussed this with you, is privacy versus security. I value my privacy. So I don't want anybody across the street looking into this house.
that's too bad, because they have actually...
Okay, but I don't.
About 10 times an hour, a bus goes by.
However, those 2 people who did the bombing in Boston would never have been caught if someone weren't looking at the crowd, picking out pictures.
Yeah.
But I don't want someone, I'm in a crowd looking inside. It's like...
I don't mind it. I'm happy to have somebody know.
But it's a dangerous,
It doesn't bother me at all.
No?
Not if it's for the safety of our
dangerous
country and our
balance,
children and our
But
people.
sometimes there's a
Absolutely.
thin line between when do you go over. In 1937, Hitler said to the German people, and they bought this, why do we need a warrant to go into your house if you have nothing to hide? Right? And they bought that. That's true. I got nothing to hide. Come in. Would you want to let someone come into your house without a warrant?
No.
No, I would never. That's the danger. But
Yeah,
what
but
if they said we're proud to
you were
preserve
just
the
talking to me
peace?
about being out in public. That's 2 different
Okay, yeah.
things.
So, but forever, she always has an answer.
And that's usually the right one. So.
Well, you're both very active on Twitter. How do you approach different social media platforms?
Oh, she's the leader. Come on. I have 2,600,000 followers now. I love that term, followers. All of you people,
Oh, Larry.
I will issue tomorrow's
Leaders.
order, and you will follow me in whatever I tell you to do.
No, Larry's very good at Twitter, though. He's fun. He's
I
amusing.
Twitter every day. I tweet every day.
Yeah.
I send them a lot of it's about sports, but I give my little opinions. I think it certainly is the new fabric. We've had Jack Dorsey in our home who invented Twitter. And I don't put down advances. I'm not a technical person. I've been on the air all these years. I don't know how I'm on the air. In other words, I don't know how I go up on a satellite or how I'm transmitted. I have no idea. I have no technical abilities at all. She's very good with the social media and so we're a good pair that way. She tells me things, except she's up all night with it.
Well, he'll say that he's never sent out a tweet on his own, and he has sent out tweets. He'll tell me what to type. I type it, and I make him push send. So he does
I hit
send.
send. But I don't. I don't like to. But I do tweet. I accept
They're his
Facebook
words.
and then Instagram, and I watch my kids, so that scares me. My children. Oh, I tell you what I don't like. You ready? What I don't like? I go on record as saying this: texting. I don't text. I'll receive a text if people send me a text. I'll never send out a text. I think it's a cop out. I can understand there's some values of it. You know, you're stranded somewhere, but basically.
Stranded? No. How about you're in a meeting and you can quickly just text something without interrupting the meeting and be done with it? That's a value.
I think it's the
technology.
lost art of communications. My son, my 14-year-old, was supposedly going with a girl for like 3 months, and they broke up. And then one time, I would ask him during the course of these 3 months how often they talk, and he would say something, 10 times a day. Oh yeah, what does she say? Oh, I don't hear her voice. They just text. Boy, if texting could bring pregnancy, there'd be no problems. We don't even have to be together. We don't have to see each other. So I think mostly it's a great cop out. You could say yes, you could say no. I mean, you text, your father texts all day long.
People text, Larry. Welcome to the
I know
21st
they do.
century.
I don't have to like it.
No, you don't have to like it. But you've been the recipient of texts. And you
I'll
like
get
the
a
texts
text.
you get. So you can't, that's a cop out. No, you can't have it both ways.
My father-in-law's watching my boys play baseball. He texts me as how they doing. It's a nice service. He could have called. You know what I mean?
He could have called while you're in the middle of a show, shooting a show.
Then I wouldn't watch it.
Really? Because I've seen you check a text while you're...
No.
In between. Yeah.
I've seen you text and drive.
No, you have not.
Okay. I like...
That...
I've made a living.
Never.
I'm not kidding. Shit.
That's the truth.
I've made a living through the human voice. I love the human voice.
You love your own voice. It's a beautiful voice.
Very soothing.
Too. You're really flirting with it. No, I love communicating, and to me, the essence of communication is person to person, not texting.
Are there any technologies you can't live without?
I couldn't live without electricity. I couldn't live without television and any forms of communication. That I couldn't live without the telephone.
So we're bringing them in a little bit here.
Oh, you're a smart ass. You're a real smart ass. There's no technology you could live without. You are a technological.
I love technology. I think it's as long as it's doesn't.
In other words,
overtake your
I'll
whole
give you an
life,
example.
Then it's good.
Supposing the proposition, cell phones are banned. I vote yes.
Wow.
Really?
Oh no, I use it, of course, because you have to use
So
a cell
you're
phone.
stranded out in the desert, and you vote
Ban
to
'em.
not have a cell phone.
Ban them.
Your chances out, he's lost.
Ban
somewhere.
them.
Really?
Yeah. Cell phones are the cause of accidents,
so full of it.
annoyances. Wait a minute. It would have to be for the whole society. It's become a total necessity. I understand the necessity
It's
of
a necessity. It's
because
a
everyone
wonderful
has
thing.
it. It's a wonderful necessity. If you want to ban it, for example, I have been out to dinner with 4 people, all of whom are on their cell phones.
And if
while
you would
dining.
Just join in the crowd,
No,
you could
I
be
like-
on your cell phone too.
There's some restaurants in New York that collect cell phones when you walk in. Thank God for
and
that.
I think that's important. There's a time to turn your cell phone off. But for heaven's sake, Larry, you cannot be saying that cell
First of
phones
all,
are a bad thing.
I'm saying if the society didn't have them, we'd be better off.
Oh,
The little
Oh
things that
my
fall off, the
gosh,
battery
please
fails,
don't
they
quote
fall
him
in
on
the
that.
water, you panic if you
that
lose
is
it.
a bad headline.
If you don't have
Larry.
it, you panic.
Larry King says, if we didn't have cell phones, we'd be better off.
That's my feeling. What do you want me to do? I'm not a fan of cell phones. I understand they're a total necessity. They're a total necessity. But if we didn't have them, you wouldn't say, my phone, where is my phone, my phone? My phone dropped in the water. We have to go to the Apple store and stay there for 4 hours with the other geeks, all of them standing around punching their little things and fixing. My phone. I'm the same way. So sometimes I'm talking on the phone, wondering where my phone is. All right? That's a sickness.
Shawn, what are some apps on your phone that you can't live without?
Some apps that I can't live without. Well,
I'm proud of mine.
no,
I have no apps.
No, you're proud of your. Well, let me see. Let me just see.
I don't have apps on my phone. You have apps.
Well, I love. You know what I love? I love Find My iPhone. That is a great app, but that's on my iPad, and Find My iPad is on my iPhone. Those are good ones.
What the hell are you talking about?
See, you don't know, but somebody's got to invent Find My car keys, find the phone.
They'll have that. There'll be an
find
app
the
for
remote
that.
Control.
Find My wallet.
It's
Those
gotta
are
be-
valuable things. I buy that.
Yeah. Okay. So that's okay. So.
But of course, if you didn't have cell phones, you wouldn't have to worry about finding it.
I use Skype. I like Bejeweled. That's an app. That's an app that's a total waste of time, but I love it.
What's it called?
Bejeweled. It's totally so much fun. It's what you see me playing when I'm trying to tell you I'm reading something, and I'm really I'm lining things up on my Bejeweled thing. It's a silly game. But I've got books on here. I have all kinds of things on here.
That's why our coupling works. I depend on you for my social media.
Directions.
I respect social media. I understand social media. I applaud social media. But I have my opinions, and I can see the good and bad and everything. I understand that.
Thanks to technology, we can have people read your magazines.
That's right.
And learn
Oh,
about
see, I
heart
respect
health.
all that. I know. I'm only kidding. A lot of this is kidding, folks. We're having some fun with this with Mia here. But I will, Mamma Mia. I like
Never
to
heard
say
that
that.
before.
Yeah, you never heard that before, huh? But I'm so proud of what our Heart Foundation has done and what Shawn's done with it. I'm proud of a lot of things as I age, but I still feel young. And I would have to say on a scale of happiness, I'm an 8. Because there is no 10. As Carlos Slim said, happiness is it's a state. It's an ongoing thing. Why are you staring at me?
I'm listening.
Stress reducer number 7.